So there was an interview floating around, breaking the internet between Tulsi Gabbard and Megyn Kelly. And during this interview, she dropped a massive bombshell as to what's developing with Dr. Fauci. Now, we know Fauci's nowhere to be found nowadays. We know that there was like a pre-pardon that was given to him by Biden that now is pretty much scrapped. Tulsi Gabbard is a director of national intelligence. She's able to now get all of this information. And again, many people say Trump was played by Dr. Fauci, by Operation Warp Speed, and the origins of this and the emails. Well, guess what? They found the emails. They found everything from this guy. And we got to talk about how big of a time 2020 was, and even 2021, because of the results of how it was handled and the information that Trump even had to work with. She's about to drop a bomb. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure to smash the like button. Very excited for this. Buckle up. Let's go.
But the thing that we are working with Jay Bhattacharya, the new NIH director, on with, as well as Secretary Kennedy, is looking at the gain of function research that, in the case of the Wuhan lab, as well as many others around, many of these other biolabs around the world, was actually U.S. funded and leads to this dangerous kind of research that, in many examples, has resulted in either a pandemic or some other major health crisis.
Well, let me ask you specifically, because we already know that EcoHealth Alliance was partnering with this Wuhan lab to do gain of function research.
That's right.
We just have never been able to have somebody say, it was that exact experiment that led to this COVID bug. But have we gotten there? What's the new thing that you're digging in on?
We are working on that with Jay Bhattacharya, and look forward to being able to share that hopefully very soon.
Okay.
That specific
link,
correct, between the gain of function research and what we saw with COVID-19.
I mean, that would be extraordinary, because just so the audience knows, if that's true, if it was Peter Daszak's research with the Wuhan so-called bat lady that caused this pandemic, then we did fund it. Then Anthony Fauci helped fund the pandemic.
The thing that he denied over and over and over to Senator Rand Paul's questioning.
That's right. Under oath.
Under oath. If this turns out to be exactly what she's talking about here, where it just links up and we funded it, and again, you wonder why many people, I'm gonna promote this question to you guys. One of the main reasons why Democrats and people in power put people up for, or they try to, especially Big Pharma, when we talk about in these types of conversations, where they try to put people against Trump or fund all these NGOs or fund these politicians who end up running and being anti-Trump or anti-MAGA, is there a specific link up connected to this? That's always what I think. It's like there's that's why people call it the deep, you know what, right? I gotta watch my language here. This is one of those videos that YouTube would love to take down. They would hate for us to be talking about this. But if this happens to be a true connection and these emails are correct, and it turns out that there's enough proof that of Fauci's involvement here, of things that he denied, that's a huge deal. That is a huge blow. And man, let's go. There's more.
Under oath, exactly. So is it any wonder that he sought a preemptive pardon for anything during a certain period of time by President Biden before he left office?
And then strong-armed and smeared people like Dr. Jay Bhattacharya, anybody who came out and said, I don't know if that's natural. This
video is brought to you guys by Noble Gold. We have a sponsorship. Let's go shout out to them. If you're getting close to retirement or just thinking ahead, you've probably done a solid job of saving. But there is much more that people just don't consider. How much money is just sitting in cash? It might feel safe, but holding on to cash guarantees one thing: you're losing purchasing power. That's why more people are looking at real assets like physical gold and silver to protect their savings. And one company that makes it easy is Noble Gold Investments. You can now buy gold or silver, coins or bars, and have them shipped to your home or stored securely. And they don't actually pressure you. Just solid information and real options. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com. Noblegoldinvestments.com. Go today to Noble Gold Investments.
Actually smacks of lab.
And the reason why this is so important is not just what happened in the past. It's because this gain of function research is happening in biolabs around the world. I got attacked, and I think you saw this. We've probably talked about it on your show before, when I warned against US-funded biolabs in Ukraine when the Russia-Ukraine war kicked off for this very reason. Who knows what kinds of pathogens are in these labs, and if released, could create another COVID-like pandemic. And for that, I was called a Russian asset. You're, trumpeting Putin's talking points, all of this nonsense, simply for speaking the truth and stating facts that, by the way, are still on U.S. Embassy Ukraine's website today about how the U.S. has funded these biolabs in Ukraine. But my point is, in order to prevent another COVID-like pandemic or another major health incident that could affect us in the world, we have to end this gain of function research and provide the evidence that shows exactly why and how it's in our best interest, the American people's best interest, to bring about an end to it.
Yeah. So
Ukraine.
So this interview, I recommend you guys go check it out. It's on Megyn Kelly's channel. Very informative. They speak about a lot of different things. Megyn Kelly has a lot of good questions for Tulsi Gabbard. Again, this is the Director of National Intelligence. This is no longer a political commentator. This is no longer a politician running for office. This is the Director of National Intelligence sharing this, that there is an ongoing investigation, that they want to get down to the bottom of how it even came about, how the virus, how it spread, how it was handled. What did they lie or not lie about under oath when Senator Rand Paul was questioning Fauci? These are real questions that the American people want to know. One of the most important things that she spoke about here is the preemptive pardon. Remember that? That was one of the biggest deals before Joe Biden left office, right? Remember the preemptive pardons? Adam Schiff got one. Eric Swalwell, I think, got one. A whole bunch of politicians got one. But one of the people who got one was Dr. Fauci. And this is, we got to play this back. This is one of the most important sentences this is one of the most important things she said during this interview.
Exactly. So is it any wonder that he sought a preemptive pardon for anything during a certain period of time by President Biden before he left office?
And
that's the question.
And strong-armed and smeared people like Dr. Jay Bhattacharya, anybody who came out and said, I don't know if that's natural.
So you guys get where I'm going with that. And that's why it is very important what's happening here. And she's been talking about, look, Tulsi Gabbard's been applying pressure. And I hope that we're all paying attention to this, because she's blowing the lid of Fauci's empire, who, again, the lab leak, who banked off, who made the money, who banked off, who benefited, where did this come from? These are all the questions, again, that you could not ask and you could not say anything about on YouTube. People were getting banned. People were losing careers. People were losing it all behind asking questions, behind saying anything about this. You could not question anything. And now it's crazy how the tables have turned. I want you guys to enjoy this clip from Tulsi Gabbard speaking about this, speaking about, again, Dr. Fauci, emails, proof, investigations, very important videos you guys got to check out. Take a listen.
Dr. Fauci demanded that we place blind faith in him and the government. It was about control. It was about more money, huge amounts of money, our taxpayer dollars being put directly into the pockets of big pharma. Now we know Fauci has lied to Congress numerous times, including the lie that the National Institute of Health did not and does not perform or fund gain of function research. This is a serious one, and it's a crime that Democrats have imprisoned Republicans for, lying under oath before Congress. We also know now that Fauci's team has been exposed through hearings yesterday and today. They worked behind the scenes to cover up the origins of the COVID outbreak. Fauci knew about it. He was CC'd on those emails, and he allowed it to happen and then lied to Congress about it.